Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Monroe Man with Break Diving, and we are recording an episode of the Break Diving Show now. We have Gay in the Philippines here with us, and Tommy in Nigeria here with us, and I am in the United States. Hello, everybody. Hey, Gay, you still have that
Hello.
funny noise
Hello.
sometimes when you move. You have to be careful because it's, I don't know,
Yes.
it's scratching against something. So the break diving show, what we're going to be talking about is about what we're doing in our lives to actually improve our ability to break dive, meaning go after our dreams and make them come true and live that break diver's creed of no rules, no excuses, no regrets. And so today we're in the actual chat room earlier, what we were discussing was Gay had said, "Hey, I'm impressed with your ability to manage time." Uh, she told that to me, and I told her, well, the reason why I think I got good at it is two reasons. One, I'm really ambitious, and I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish, and all of us as break divers should have things that we want to accomplish, and you can't do that if you're disorganized. But the second reason is there's an expression, Gay. I wanted to say this earlier. A an idle mind and idle hands is the devil's playground, meaning that if if I don't keep my mind occupied by doing lots and lots of things all at the same time, I end up falling into depression, and my mind starts thinking about past regrets and, oh gosh, I wish my life. And so I have to force myself to stay busy, because by doing that, it keeps your mind from going off and thinking about stupid, terrible things. And then I think that expression's right. An idle mind is the devil's playground. Idle hands. The 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 devil will always try to destroy your dreams. The devil
Mhm.
doesn't want us to succeed. The devil wants us to fail. And the only way the devil can get in our head is if we're not trying to improve ourselves or help other people. Because if you're doing that, nothing can get in. It's like there's this big barrier. But when you stop and you become lazy, all of a sudden, boom, the barrier is down and the devil can get in and depression can happen. I honestly think that depression is in many ways like the devil. The devil is what causes it, makes you feel.
Yeah, it just brings different thoughts into your mind.
So anyway, let's continue to chat about this in terms of time management and depression and things that you can do. Tommy, did you have something you wanted to share?
Um, okay, when we started this lockdown, when the coronavirus stuff started, back when I was in school, I used to keep myself busy with schoolwork, meetings, stuff like that. And so that was what was keeping me sane. Let me so to say. Then when we like went on the lockdown, it was just me and myself, and then I had to face myself, and I I was actually scared because like that was what was keeping me from depression actually. Then over time I had to sit down with myself and get to know myself then
Mhm.
I got into some things um like online classes and stuff. So yeah, you're right. Keeping you have to keep yourself busy though, but you should not be a jack of all trade though, where getting yourself involved in too many things because you could break down. Yeah.
In my book Time Zen, I disagree with that, because I agree that you shouldn't be a jack of all trades, but I also think if you're good at time management, not I think, I know, if you're good at time management, you can become a master of many trades. And some people think of me as a jack of all trades, but no, I'm actually really good at a lot of things. I'm a good lawyer, I'm a good writer, I'm a good speaker, I'm a good YouTuber. I'm a good coder. So I think this jack of all trades thing, it's an excuse for people to it's an excuse to help them justify not doing all of the things that they're capable of doing. I think all of us are capable of becoming really good at a lot of things if we would just utilize our time better. Gay, what do you
Was
think?
okay.
What can I say about what I did today?
No, in terms of, we were talking,
Um,
remember, you're the one that said about time management, and you said you had a similar thing about keeping yourself busy to keep depression and feelings of inadequacy and whatnot at bay. Can you explain
anxiety.
about that? Why did you say that?
Yeah, yeah, it was the same thing about me also because I spend a lot of time working and spend another more time on making my hobbies and everything, learning. Yes.
And do you find that that helps keep your spirits up?
Yes, but sometimes I've I was falling down and sometimes I go up.
I think that's everybody. And
Mm.
the idea of depression, I think everybody experiences it. Like there's some stigma against it. Like, oh my gosh, you're depressed. Who isn't? Who does not? I don't think, if anybody tells me every single moment of my day, I am happy, I am full of joy, and I never have any problems, I think, okay, you must be on some drug, because life is not perfect all the time. And even if we have the perfect job and the perfect family, and well, guess what? The family can get annoying sometimes, and the job can get boring sometimes, and things like that. So I think it's important for anyone to, I think the first step is for everyone to acknowledge that their life is not perfect, and there are times when they feel less than happy. And for me, like I said, if I think the fact that I do so much, it's kind of, it's a double positive, because on one hand, it helps to keep my spirits up, because like I said, when I get alone with my thoughts, like Tommy said, you get alone with your thoughts, it starts to eat you, and they compound. You start thinking about one thing. There's that story about you wake up and you miss your alarm, and then you think, oh darn it, I missed my alarm, and then you end up showing up an hour late for work, and then you're on the drive to work, you're thinking, I'm such an idiot. Oh, how is this going to happen? Oh gosh, I'm going to get fired. And then you get to work, and then there's a whole bunch of files on your desk, and you're already in a bad mood, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I hate this job. Oh, blah, blah. And before you know it, by lunchtime, you're talking about how much of a loser you are, and oh, I hate myself, and this and that. But by staying, that term is called rumination, where it just compounds and gets worse and worse and worse, and we have to constantly, actually, this is a good jumping off point. First of all, do you understand that idea of rumination, where one bad thought leads to another,
Yeah.
and then leads to another, and you start getting worse and worse and worse in terms of how you feel?
Yeah.
What are some of the techniques that you both use to help you get out of this idea of when you're thinking bad things about yourself? And what do you say to yourself? What do you do?
Well, just think about self motivation. Just keep on motivating yourself. Am I right?
Tommy, how about you?
Um, I guess yeah, you just keep on motivating yourself. And
So specifically, because I think I think you're right, but specifically, what do I do? You have to convince yourself. You have to change what you're saying in your mind. And if you catch yourself saying, "Oh, I'm such a loser," "Oh, why was I such an idiot?" or "Why did I make that decision?" One of the things that I often, because we all have regrets, and I have regrets about some of the decisions I made in the past, or And I have to convince myself, Monroe, you made the best decision you could at that time with the information that you had.
Hmm.
And today I look back and go, you're such an idiot. What a terrible decision you made. But I have to try to remind myself to be a little bit
Positive.
more positive and kinder with myself and not be so strict. And none of us is expected to make perfect decisions. And
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we have to be
Uh,
kind and remember that the decisions we made because even though it's funny, you look back on them and you think, well, duh. Why would anybody make such a stupid decision? That was the stupid, why? And the answer is, who knows why we made that decision? Who knows why we did that at the time? We look back now and we have a clear mind and we think, how could well, because you weren't in that same mindset when you made that decision. And so anyway, that goes back to the depression timer thing. But again, idea is the whole idea with break diving is we need to, no matter how we feel, we have to A, try to get out of that feeling, and B, keep moving forward.
I agree.
I think, okay.
Tommy.
Okay, I was just saying, I think firstly we have to learn to love ourselves, because in this world, like seriously, like what, like there are going to be times when it's just going to be you. So you have to learn to, you know, love yourself first. And it should be your best supporter, it should be your motivator. Because like if you're not going to be available to motivate yourself, then there are going to be times when nobody is going to be in support of what you're going to do. So you have to learn to, first of all, be your own personal motivator. And when now I'm before, I used to insult myself, like maybe if I make mistakes and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm so stupid, why did I do this? Then but now I feel, I'll just tell myself, yeah, I made mistakes, but I'm wiser now, I'm better now, and I know I cannot make that kind of mistake again. So what is gone. I can't keep dwelling on that, because it's past now. The consequences have come, everything has passed, and I have to at least make better decisions now.
So what's your take on a situation? I'm sure I'm sure both of you can relate to this, and anybody watching on YouTube can too. The past is past, I get that. But sometimes we made decisions or whatever, did things in the past, but people misinterpreted them and they have a negative opinion of you today because of something that they think you are. They think you're this type of person, but in reality, you're not. But no matter what you do, you can't convince them of the true you. Do you just,
Like they're judging you by something you did in the past.
something that they think that you did in the past, and or something that you did, but making false characterizations about you because of that. I have a few situations in my past where people think of me in a certain way. I've changed, and or I was never that characterization. But sometimes it's hard to morph or to change somebody's perception of you.
You don't have to change people's perception of you. That's my opinion. You don't. People are always going to have perceptions, good perceptions. Even when you're a good person, completely good person, people are always going to have bad perceptions of you, even the ones they make up by themselves. So I think the best thing is just to you have a true perception of yourself. If you're a bad person and you know you want to change, you want to be a good person, change. Like everything you do, just do it for yourself, for your peace of mind. Because if you keep thinking about what other people are going to say, then you might very likely lose your way. Like there's this famous song, is Yoruba, it's a Yoruba song, but like was sang in like maybe the 90s or something, I'm not sure. So it's about it was sung by Ebenezer Obey.
Mhm.
So generally what the song talks about is that there was this man and his horse. So and his son, a man, his son and a horse. So they were traveling, and then the man sat and the son was riding on the horse, and then they were going. Then people were like, this son is very rude, or like, see how wicked he is. His father is walking and he's on the horse. So okay, the son came down, the father climbed. And people were like, this man is very wicked. How can the son be walking and and he's on the horse? So both of them climbed the horse. And then they were going, people were like, these people are very wicked, or you want to suffer the horse and stuff like that. So both of them came down. Then people were like, you guys are very stupid. How can you be walking and you have a horse and stuff like that? So in the end, I don't remember, they wanted to do something. Eventually the horse drowned in a river and they lost everything that they had. So generally what it's just saying is that people are always going to have opinions. So just do what you know is right. Just do what gives you peace of mind. And
Yeah, those are wise words. That's right. People are always going to have opinions, and no one is
Yeah,
going to ever have a
that's
perfect
true.
opinion of you. No one's going to have the absolute truth. In fact, you know what's interesting? I bet I have false opinions about each of you because I don't have the full, right? None of us has the complete story.
yeah.
And probably our parents don't have the complete story, and we don't have the complete story about our parents. And
I don't think anybody has a complete perception about anybody else.
no, I think you're right. Gay, what do you think about this?
Yeah. From my experience, I forget about my past. Just do what everything I want to do. I don't mind what people say, and just go on and think about my future. That's what I am doing today. This present.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah. I
Yeah, go
yeah.
ahead. Continue.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about work, earn money, go to US, abroad, spend my time in traveling. That's my mindset.
I think that's a wise way to look at things, and I think that's one of the tenets of Buddhism. I think is, I don't know if it's Buddhism or at least of meditation. I think is stop thinking about the past and the future. Just focus on
Present.
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 And
And now you can make it better.
yeah, I mean the thing about the present is great because right at this moment, literally, when I say this moment, I mean right now, the three of us are talking on this break diving show video recording. Is there anything wrong with our lives right now?
Mm.
Right at
Except
this
for
moment.
pandemic.
No.
No.
There's nothing really wrong. I'm sitting here. The heater's on. It's warm. I'm
Not thinking about anything.
not thinking about anything else, right? We're only focused on each other right now and what we're talking about. So we're not thinking about our past. We're not thinking about our future. We're not thinking about our problems. And I was talking to Ileana the other day in Bavia. Whenever I'm on one of these break diving recordings, I never have any negative emotion whatsoever. It always makes me feel great.
Positive.
Say it again, again.
Happy.
Positive and
Yeah, positive and happy and just there's a term in psychology called flow, FLOW, and it's this concept that when you are engaged in something that uses your full brain and your full psyche and you're so engaged in it, the time just goes by very quickly and you almost forget where you are. And when I'm in these meetings, I forget that I'm in New York. I forget that I'm in this room. I forget even that we're recording something to post up on YouTube. It's just, I'm just engaged talking in this very fascinating conversation with cool people. And That's what flow is. And then all of a sudden I'll look at the clock and I'll go, wow, it's 11:47. Oh, we have about 13 minutes left. And I come back to reality, but I feel good. I feel okay, it's okay. And even when the meeting is done, I still have that feeling of that flow for the next couple of hours. Do either of you ever feel that same way?
Yes.
Yes.
And can you expound on that a little bit more? What do you guys feel as when you're in these meetings?
No, I feel, yeah, I forgot, yeah, everything. I'm just focused talking with you guys, and yeah, I'm here smiling with you guys.
Yeah, we have all
I
three of us.
forgot
We have
that,
big smiles right now.
yeah, I forgot that, oh my gosh, I'm very tired. I am pissed off with this, and I am pissed off with that, like that. I know my work is so stressful, and I forgot all about that, and yeah, energized again.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think we all have stress in our lives and a thing, and it's nice when I do something like this where it just I can. You know what's interesting? When I get into, like before I started this, before we started our event today in the community, I was looking at my to-do list and thinking of all the things I need to do today, things I didn't do yesterday, and oh, blah, blah, blah. And like you said, I completely forgot about any of those things in this last hour. And that's the idea of this flow thing and of being in the present. We are more in the present right now, the three of us talking now, than we are either before this meeting or probably after. Tommy, did you want to add? What is your feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, I actually, my mind was just on what we were discussing. I was never about forgetting. My mind was not even like, I was just so focused that I don't know. I was not thinking about anything else.
And that's the key. And I think like this is a perfect example of of keeping our mind busy to such an extent that it's not busy work, whereas you're just kind of numbing yourself with drugs or something. I mean, if we took cocaine, I'm sure we would feel maybe even better, but it wouldn't be helping. It's not actually improving our lives, or our. It's just like literally numbing us for 5 hours, and then you have a crash, and you
And
feel
then it's
even
even
worse.
worse.
Yeah. Whereas this, we actually, I have a high right now. There's a little bit of a high by having this event. You meet other people, you see other people smiling. That makes you smile. That makes you feel better. And the serotonin and the dopamine and all that's going through your body. And our brain is so engaged because we're looking at one another, we're listening. And most importantly, we're not thinking about ourselves. You can't be engaged really in this type of discussion where you're talking about the mind and something with science. And if you're really engaged in it, you can't be thinking about stuff out the window or your phone, or you can't follow it. So when we can do something like this, it really just gives me a lot of energy. When I get done with one of these calls, I always am excited about the next few hours because I'll always get a lot accomplished because I have nothing, no negativity distracting me.
Yeah. And even after the meeting, you could remember and just smile or laugh.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Gay, tell us what's behind your smile right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm just smiling, no reason. Because yes, I always smile.
That's good.
Mm.
I
I'm
think,
just
continue.
it is just the way I present myself to show people that yes, I am strong enough to carry on to my life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I think what I always try to do when I'm reminded of flow is try to think of all of the activities that you do that are those flow activities. What are the things that you can do? For me, I know it's one of them is this. Participating in any break diving event, I always feel better. It's a flow thing, and I can't think about if you're not thinking about yourself, you can't be depressed. It's just a matter of fact. The only time you get depressed is because you're thinking about yourself and your life. Well, if you stop thinking about yourself and your life, or you can think about yourself and your life in a positive way, such as by reading a self-help book or talking with a friend or doing something like playing guitar. That's also for me, sometimes playing guitar and singing will bring out good spirits. And what are some of the things that Tommy that you do that are similar to the way that like this meeting makes you feel, where you kind of forget about the world?
Reading, I like reading.
Good.
Reading novels, anything interesting though. And sometimes even my school books, especially when I'm understanding it, I know, it just makes me happy. Then sleeping.
No, sleeping doesn't count because sleeping is like taking cocaine.
Just numbs your brain.
It just numbs your brain for a little while. But the difference is when you wake up from sleep, you feel better.
But,
Yes.
When you wake up from cocaine, you feel worse. So you
it
can
feels terrible.
cocaine is no good, and sleeping is. But too much sleep, of course, is not good. Too much of anything is
Yeah.
not good.
Okay. Praying helps me feel better too.
Praying does too. Yeah, they've proven that anybody who prays feels better. That is
And
true.
then yeah, singing or listening to music helps me feel
Hmm.
better. Especially when the music is not some depression song.
Yeah, music I think is tricky because there are so many songs that I've listened to in my life that in some way, shape, or form, they remind me of something negative that you have to be careful with music because if it's the wrong song, it makes you feel worse. If it's a right song, it can make you feel better. But the key is though, I don't know if listening to music is a flow activity because that the act of doing it, it has certain memories imprinted on every song. So it's not really a flow activity where it completely gets you out of your mind. It's an
Okay,
activity
so
that
it takes you
actually
back into your mind.
it puts you back in time.
Yeah.
It's a time machine that either puts you in a good mood thinking about something in your past or puts you in a bad mood thinking about your past. Whereas a flow activity is one where you're not thinking about your past in any way, shape, or form. So that's why I said when I am playing guitar, sometimes I'm not thinking about myself because I'm really focusing on the
Yeah.
playing and like this. And when I'm trying to learn something, when I'm studying languages, a lot of times studying languages, it's interesting. When I'm in a terrible mood, studying languages, sometimes it's hard for me to focus on studying the languages. But when I'm in a so-so mood, I mean, even mood, neutral, neither happy nor sad, if I study languages, it'll make me happy. And so I think we all need to realize there are certain things that, depending on your mood, is the better activity to do. And I heard, Gay, what are your thoughts on what are the flow activities that you like to do most?
Uh, most of the time is sleeping.
But
Especially when
what's something that you can, what's besides sleeping, Tommy and Gay? Oh my gosh.
well, of course, yeah, I have a lot of things to do. Yeah.
So what's one of them? What's something that
Cooking,
you cooking?
cooking, traveling, listening to music. Uh, but the music I'm listening is not more on dramatic music, the emotional one.
Okay.
It is more on I don't wait, just more on just like dancing music.
Dance music. Okay.
Yeah, dance music.
Yeah, no, see
Uh,
that's the type of music that could be flow music. If you listen to music that's dance music and doesn't have really words or doesn't have any, you only think about it when you're
Okay.
dancing.
some are country music.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Filipino music?
No, I don't like it.
But you said our country music.
No, she
No,
said
country music.
Oh, like American country music?
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting. I often wonder if other countries have country music that like it sounds like American country music, but maybe it's in like it's in Tagalog or it's in what language do you speak, Tommy? Your native first language?
Yoruba.
Yoruba. Maybe they have Yoruba country music. I don't know. So in summary for today, we were talking about and we decided earlier that we're going to make the break diving show always revolving around break diving itself and what the creed is and different things that we can do to improve our lives and oh, actually on that note, because we're talking about break diving, we're talking about dive certifications. Tommy, what the dive that you have pending, is it English
Um,
or
I'm
Child
not
of God?
yeah, child. I already tried to get certified on Child of God. I think I submitted my application like 2 or 3 times.
We have them, and you're the next person in the list. We've just been very slow in doing that, so we'll be working on that. And you don't have any certified yet, right?
No,
Okay, you will by the end of this end of this weekend. And Kay, what's the next one you're working on?
I'm going to continue level 2 of my photography.
You decided to go back to photography. Good. That's fantastic. And just so you know, if you want to become break diver level 1, it's 5 dives at level 1. To get to break diver level 2, you also need to have some level 2 dives. So it's good if you're going to do photography level 2, but just remember that you still need 4 more dives at level 1, just so you know.
Uh, 4 dives, different dives.
4
Level 1.
different dives at level 1, that makes you level 1, break diver level 1. To become level 2, you're going to have to make 5 dives at level 2 and then do 5 more at level 1. So
Oh, I
if you
see.
get certified at level 2 photography, it's not bad, it's great, but it's helping you towards level 2, not to get towards break diver level 1. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So just to keep that in mind, you may want to get certified in another dive at level 1 to help you get to break diver level 1. But that's your decision. And Tommy, what's the next one you're going to do?
I'm not sure. Maybe regrets disruptor.
Awesome. Regret disruptor. Awesome. We're Bobby and I are very close to releasing the updated dive section, which has all of the dives. Because right now, some of them they're not filled out. I don't know if you noticed that. where level 2 is not there, or level 3 isn't there, and some of the dives are missing. And so probably we think by the end of November, they will be all up there. And so that'll be helpful for everybody. I think, what's my next dive to get certified? I might do JavaScript. Well, I think I have, I don't know. It's a good question. Oh, I know I'm working on YouTube level 3 now, because I got to my 100 subscribers, and now I'm almost 200 away, a little more than 200 away from 1,000. So I'm hoping maybe in February or March, April, I will hit 1,000, and so maybe that's something that I'll be working on. So what we were discussing today is the fact that, hey, if we want to achieve our dreams and really keep diving in to make our big breaks in life, we cannot stay depressed for very long. It's going to happen. We're going to have setbacks, but we have to learn to change the way we look at that and stop telling us that we suck. Stop telling us that we're losers. Stop telling us that we can't do something, or stop saying, why did that happen in the past? And this is as much for me as it is for you. I have a big problem with always looking back at my past and going, why did I do that? Oh gosh, what would have happened if I had only, guess what? We're never going to know. We're never going to know what could have happened. We're never going to know if things would have been different. Well, and who cares? It didn't. The past is past. We live in the present. And I think I have to remind myself that all the time. Why are you constantly beating yourself up, Monroe, over something that happened in the past when it's over? It's over. There's nothing more you can do about it. All we can do is from right now and forward. And so that's what we all need to do. And so for the next week, stop thinking about the past. And whatever it is, I'm sure if I'm mentioning that, there's at least one thing you're thinking about that you're thinking, yeah, he's right. So whatever it is, stop. And you know what it is? The past, a good lesson. Some guy yesterday, I was driving completely, like I was coming this way at the gas station, and this guy pulled in so fast, I had to slam on my brakes. I almost hit him. Her. Doesn't matter, but it was a woman, this blonde woman. But she was so oblivious. She wasn't looking, and she could have caused a huge accident. And I got my gas and I was just pulling out. And shoo! And I got so angry for about 3 seconds. I was like, and then I thought, stop. It's in the past. There was no accident. She's fine. I'm fine. Go on with your day. And I was so proud of myself, because maybe in years past, I would have been upset about that for maybe 10 minutes. And I granted, it's the difference between 10 minutes and 3 seconds, but it was more the concept that I realized that I'm learning to forget about the past and focus on the future. Be angry about the past for a moment, because we all do, or be angry about something that happens, but get over it as soon as you can. Because every moment that we spend thinking about our past, we're not thinking about how to improve our present or improve our future. So final words, Gay and Tommy, on what I was just saying.
Yeah, I have a question. So forgetting about the past means, is it part of psychology, right?
Yeah, here's the thing. Let me clarify. It's not forget about the past, because we can't forget it. But when it comes into our mind, we can stop thinking about it and try to focus on something different. Because of course the past happened, and we'll always think about it. And every once in a while, something's going to come up. You're going to see something, and it's going to trigger something in your head that we think about the past. And yes, it's all psychology, Gay. All of this is psychology.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
instead
for
of
me,
pushing off memories of the past, I think it's better you get resolution. Like forgive who you need to forgive and let go of what you need to let go of. Or else whenever you remember, like it's going to hurt you afresh, like all over again. So then I don't know, it's not the best that way. So I think it's best you resolve your issues with your past and let go of what you need to let go of. Like I think that's best.
mm,
Yeah, those are wise words. Well, Ileana said something interesting to me 2 weeks ago. She said, "You can't change history, but you can change the story." And that's basically what we're talking about here. We can't change the past. We can't change what happened, but we can change what we tell us about the past. We can change how we think about the past. We can change how memories of the past, when they come back into our head, instead of hitting us like this, they kind of just go and they keep going. And it's not easy, but it's possible. And as Tommy said, we have to let it go. We have to let the anger and the bitterness we have to stop hitting ourselves because of some things that happen, because it doesn't help us now. It
yeah.
doesn't help us.
Funny thing about me is I already forgot some of my past and I still remember some.
Yeah, it's that you bring up an interesting point. The truth is that our brain remembers everything.
Mm, some
And
for me it is already some
no,
some
what
of
I'm
my
saying
past.
is our brain remembers everything, but you can only access memories when certain triggers are there. For
Mm,
example, I want you to, right now, you're not thinking about when you were in first grade, but now you are. You're thinking about first grade. And now if I mention your teacher and the color of your teacher's hair, now you're probably thinking about your teacher and your teacher's hair, maybe a dress or the pants. And you're thinking of your classmates and who your best friend was. I guarantee you 30 seconds ago, you weren't thinking about any of them and you didn't even know that memory existed in your head. But it did. And I was thinking about it too. That's what I'm saying. It's like there are so many things. I guarantee you, if somebody remembers, if somebody gives you the right triggers, even though you can't remember, sometimes how about this? When you lose your keys or you lose your phone, you forget where you put something, and then somebody asks, "Well, think about where did you go yesterday? Do you remember the last? Oh, that's right. I went to the movie theater. Oh, let me call them. Yeah, we have your wallet." And we completely forgot until somebody reminded us of something that helped our brain to take that bit of memory and bring it to our consciousness. So that's why I think it's very interesting you mentioned that, Gabe, because I know there are ways to put our bad memories away in the same way that we forgot about first grade until it was. I know that there are ways using cognitive behavioral therapy and reframing the as Tommy was saying, trying to put it behind you, to come to peace with it, to forgive those people in the past. Because for some reason, I don't know why, we tend to negative memories have a stronger emotional effect on us than do positive memories. What you can think of 20 positive things and it's not going to really, like, oh yeah, I remember that was a fun summer. Oh yeah, that was a good movie. Oh yeah, she's really nice. Oh gosh, why did you remind me of him? Oh gosh, he's such a jerk. And all of a sudden that one memory transforms us into some different person
Okay.
That, does that answer your question? You asking about it has to do with psychology.
Yeah.
And this is why anything you can do to read about psychology and learn about the mind and think, there's so much we don't know about how it works. And for me, I just want to minimize my depression, increase my happiness, accomplish more in life, and provide for me and my family, make some of my dreams come true. And if there's a heaven, end up in heaven with God, and see, maybe see my dad again, and some of my friends who have died, and things like that. And psychology doesn't answer all the questions. Like Tommy and I were talking earlier about God and Jesus and whatnot. Psychology doesn't answer the big question of life. Psychology is, I think they're hand in hand. I think psychology with God makes life on earth easier. But I think God alone doesn't always work, and I think that's why God gave us psychology, saying, hey, I know it's too much to think about the whole God and heaven thing all the time, but here's psychology, which will help you day to day with some practical tools that maybe will help you. And Tommy, Gay, I know I said final
Yeah.
thoughts before, but do you have any other final thoughts?
Mhm. The final thoughts.
And
I don't know. Well, just I feel psychology could frustrate you when you're thinking about God, because God works in a lot of mysterious ways. And so if you're using psychology to understand him, then you might lose sight of what's important, I guess.
I don't think you can use psychology to understand God.
Yeah.
Psychology you can use just to better understand yourself, and to, it's a tool, I think, to minimize the effect the devil has on you. I think you're right. I don't think psychology is going to help you find God. I think God is completely separate from it. But I just find sometimes psychological tools sometimes work a little bit better than, for me, than just praying alone. Because sometimes when you're just thinking about something, you have to slap yourself out of it. Stop it. So,
Yeah, psychology.
yeah.
Psychology is just a guide to go on with our life.
Yeah, I think it's just a tool to help us get through life a little bit more easily. And God is the purpose of life. Even though I don't completely understand it, what do you mean that God is the purpose of life and God created us, and our purpose is to glorify God? And I mean, sometimes that doesn't make complete sense to me, but the alternative, that there's no point to life and there's no God, it makes no sense to me. Any atheist, no atheist has explained to me how the Big Bang happened if there was no God to create the universe. And that I always
think
talk.
the Big Bang itself is another concept. It's like, even though they are covering it with science and everything, it's still a concept. Like, there's a creator. The Big Bang was the creator then.
But well, I always say to people, if the Big Bang was the creator, that doesn't make any
Who
sense.
created the Big Bang?
Yeah, and so it has to be an everlasting being that's lived forever. Otherwise, because there's a beginning and end to everything. So if there was a beginning and end to the universe too, well, then something must have created the universe. And it could only have been God. And people say, oh, no, no, atheists say, oh, no, no, it's we just don't understand science well enough. Excuse me, in science, matter can be neither created nor destroyed, right?
Yeah.
So something must have created the universe, because you couldn't just come
It's
out of,
contradictory.
it's a big contradiction. And no atheist has answered that for me. And I don't think any atheist ever will. And it just,
But then I guess there are also questions that, that they ask Christians that we're also unable to answer. But then we can't always understand everything.
oh, I fully agree with that. I don't understand pretty much anything in life.
But then you can't use psychology to explain God, just as we've already said. I guess you just have to trust him. And it's not just about just trusting him blindly and everything. What makes people strong in conviction that there's actually God, like the God I'm serving, I know is true, is because you've had an experience with him. And I feel like if you don't have a personal experience with him, then it's impossible for you to actually believe him. Because when things, maybe you're just believing him because, I don't know, you want to go to heaven or something. So when something serious happens, when something big happens, you can easily just leave because, it's not convenient again. But when you've actually experienced him, like something has happened and he has spoken to you, you have experienced his hand in your life, then you are more strong in faith, like you believe better. And I believe that that's actually what matters. Nobody can actually serve God without an experience.
Mhm. I was actually thinking that maybe we could have a breakdiving event that's kind of talking about God and things like that. That might be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, we'll talk about that. We'll figure that out. I think a lot of people might benefit from it. Maybe like a Bible study or something like that. Yeah. So anyway, awesome. So before we go, tell me one thing that you're going to accomplish today.
I'm going
Oh
to
my
read
God.
2 pages of my law of contract textbook.
Awesome. Yay. Good.
For me, since it is already Friday, I'm going to wake up at 10 a.m. and go to work
Good. So you'll get
as
a good night.
usual.
You'll get a good night's sleep.
Yes.
When you go to work, do you walk or do you take a tuk-tuk?
Uh, if the weather is not good, I'm going to take a taxi cab.
Okay.
But if it is not, I'm going to walk.
Okay. How long of a walk?
15 to
What do
20.
you do? What do you do on your walk?
Just listening to music while walking with my
So,
phone, my
so
headphone.
here's my suggestion. That's 20 minutes a day, or even 40 minutes if you walk home. When instead of listening to music, you could do something productive. You
Uh,
can listen to English radio to improve your English listening. You could listen to a foreign language thing. You could I'm trying to think what else.
Exercise.
Listen. Yeah. What's that?
I said you could exercise, maybe jog every morning to work out back.
But then she'd be sweaty when she gets there. She can't jog to work. They would say, "Gay, go home. Smell." Uh, but you could do exercise like this, like that while you're going. You could listen to an audiobook.
Yeah,
Just remember, there are so many things that you can do to where you
rather
can
than
do
music.
2 things at once. Why waste? You can walk and see the beautiful things as you're going, but you can also listen to something and improve your.
And it will, like, it's over time, like it will really help you. Okay,
So
this is
and
anyway, something to
when
think about. For me, I'm going to definitely write one more chapter in that novel that I'm working on. So I'm
ouch.
gonna
wonderful.
it's called We the Robots.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I posted the first chapter in the community. You can, if you look on my profile, you can, maybe it was about 2 weeks ago. And you can read the first chapter. But I'm hoping to have the book done by the end of the year or by end of January. And then I'm going to try to submit it to agents to see if someone will publish it. We'll see.
Wow, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. If any of you are on YouTube watching, please join us. Log in if you're a member. If you're not, join us at breakdiving.io. And remember the Break Divers Creed. Gay, Tommy, do you remember what it is?
No rules.
No rules,
No
no excuses, no regrets.
excuses, no regrets.
Awesome. Couldn't say it better myself. So let's take a wave to everybody, and then we'll say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.